Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute little leprechaun. He's a tiny tot. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make the hat because we've already got the video for the hat and I will link it. You'll see a little eye is up here on your screen. If you click that eye, it will open some of the other videos that are associated with this. Now, I will link in that little eye up here the hat and also the arms. You're going to make the arms by yourself. I have a video showing you how to do the arms. So you are going to get 2 arms ready, okay, and the hat, and that's what you're going to need for that. And I am going to make the entire thing with you because this is a little bit different. I can't give you the video to do the head because this head is very different. But yeah, there we go. So the colours that you're going to need, and I'm not going to talk about the hat because, as I said, that's a separate video. Colours you're going to need: skin tone. I'm using caramel from Rainbow Loom. I'm using the dark green from Rainbow Loom. I'm using the lime green from Rainbow Loom. I have 1 gold band, black, white for his socks, and I'm using black again for his shoes. And I have some stuffing inside him. The other things that you're going to need are a crochet hook. I'm using a 2.75mm crochet hook. That's a C. It's just the hook I prefer to do this. You're going to need some toy safety eyes. If you don't have toy safety eyes, again, up here on the top right, I'll put a link on how you can make safety eyes, eyes, using loom bands that would be suitable for this. The other thing you're going to need are stitch markers. And stitch markers always come in handy. I like these clover ones that lock in place. They're my preferred ones. But again, I have a video showing you all the different things you can use as stitch markers if you don't happen to have these. Okay, so let me first of all, let's get what you need for his arms out the way. You're going to need skin tone. You're going to need a magic ring in skin tone. Okay, so there's your magic ring, and it's going to be, you're going to do 8 stitches into your magic ring. Okay, you're then going to do another round of skin tone. Okay, then, and there's no increases or decreases, you're then going to use a single green, lime green. You're going to go around once in lime green, so you don't really count. This is our magic ring, so if you count the magic ring like that, so after the magic ring you've got 8 rounds. So you've got round 1, round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. They're all going to be dark green, and you're going to have 6, okay, 6 rounds of dark green. So for each arm, let me show you, you're going to have a magic ring of skin tone. That's here. Your first round is going to be skin tone. Your second round is going to be lime green. And then 6 rounds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in the dark green. You will use anchor bands of dark green. Okay, 3 little anchor bands. That is all shown on the video that I will link, and I'll put it in the description as well. If you can't see the little card up here, I will have the link in the description of the video as well, of this video. So that is how we're going to make the arms. You're going to do 2, and you're going to make the hat. Okay, now we're going to get started on his head, and to do that we're going to use skin tone, and we're going to do a magic ring with 6 in it. Okay, so we've got a magic ring here, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. If you need a bit of help doing the magic ring, I have a tips and tricks video that shows you very clearly how to do the magic ring. You can do it on your loom, using a peg of your loom. You can use your hook, or you can use your hook and have the help of a little stitch marker if you need that too. Now we're going to have a little bit of extra sound here today because we've got Izzy home sick, and I've also got the 3 kittens, so you'll have to bear with me as we deal with things. Izzy's homesick. She has stomach flu. She came home yesterday, not very well. So there she is. So let's do our magic ring. You're going to take your first band and wrap it once and twice around your hook. I'll do the little way of showing you with the stitch marker. Pop your stitch marker through your little end cap, and you're going to pull through your 6 bands 1, 2, 3, and you can take it off as soon as you're able to actually hold on to it. Here you really don't need anything to help. 4, 5 and 6. Our next round is going to be skin tone, and you're going to go from 6 stitches around to 12. We're going to do an increase in each stitch. Okay, so go through your first stitch, and we're going to do our first single crochet and put our stitch marker on it, and then go back through that first stitch and do a second single crochet. So you've got 2 single crochets in each stitch, and that is how we do our increase. So you move from having 6 single crochet stitches in the round to 12. So this is our 12th stitch. Our next round is going to be a single crochet followed by an increase. So 1 single crochet, and then we do move our stitch marker, and then we do an increase, which is the 2 single. And an increase. Single crochet and an increase. Single crochet and increase, single crochet and an increase, single crochet, and we finish on an increase. Now this should have taken us to 18 stitches all the way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18 is on our hook where it's supposed to be. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets followed by an increase. So here's our first one. Move your stitch marker. Here's our second one in the next stitch, and then we do an increase. 1 and 2. So let's do that again. That's the pattern. First single crochet, second single crochet, and an increase. One, 2, and an increase. One, 2, and an increase. 2, and an increase, and then 1, 2, and finish on an increase. You've now got 24 stitches in your round, and that's what we need to have for this. So now we're going to do something a little bit different, different from the way we make the faces or the heads with the hair. This is going to be sort of like the opposite, because we're having bald up here and then tapering down. If it was the hair, it was almost this way. So what we're going to do now, 2 rounds are going to be just single crochet in skin tone. 4 rounds are going to be single crochet with skin tone and with caramel, and 2 rounds are going to be single crochets with the caramel only. Okay, so this is my first stitch here. I'm going to go through my first stitch. I'm going to take my counterband from here. This is my first one. We're just doing single crochets, no increase, no decrease. We're just sticking with 24 stitches in the round. Move your stitch marker. We're going to go all the way around doing single crochet in skin tone for 2 rounds. And I am sorry, this is going to be a long tutorial. I might split it into parts so you can do the head and then come back and do the body. Oh, Izzy's on cat patrol. They're trying to jump up on her, and their little sharp scratches. Nails are getting her claws. Check we're in focus. I hate when I do a whole great big spiel and then turn around and find out that half of it wasn't in focus. Okay, so this is our first round. Now you can meet me back after having done 2 rounds of the skin tone. This is nearly the end of my first round, but if you want to meet me back, that is perfectly fine. Pause the video and I'll catch you back when we've done another round after this one of single crochet in skin tone. So I've done my 2 rounds of single crochet. I'm now going to be moving to my single crochet rounds, 4 of them of caramel and skin tone. Okay, these 4 here. So my first stitch, I'm going to go through. Now things are a little different when we add the caramel, and I'm going to take that one from my marking, counting my rows. As you put your hook through like this, you're first of all going to add this little loop because we're changing colour, but then you're going to take 2 caramel bands and place them on your hook. Replace the end of your band, move those 2 over and do your single crochet, and we'll move the stitch marker to that new stitch. Okay, so every time we place, for these rounds, every time we place a caramel band, we're going to add 2 bands, loose bands to them. Okay, and this will make his fluffy beard. So we're doing 8 stitches of caramel. That was 1. Let's go through. This is number 2. So pull a band through, keep it on your finger like so. Okay, so there's your loop, here's your band. Put your 2 on, reclaim your band, pull over and do your single crochet. So that was 2. Let's do our third one. Pull through, get 2 little bands, pop them on the end of your hook, reclaim the end of your loop, move over and do your single crochet. As I said, we're doing this for 8 stitches for this, then we're changing to skin tone again to start making his face. Okay, so all our skin tone, these 8 stitches, have to have these extra 2 loops on. And I like to keep the loops down so I can see what I'm doing. And this is a bit time consuming, it's a bit band heavy as well. So make sure you have a whole packet of the caramel bands available to you. Or whatever colour you're doing. Holly. Okay, so we've done 8 stitches. 8 of our little stitches in this round have got the extra caramel on them. We're now going to swap and go into skin tone, so single crochet, but we're doing a colour change, so we have to do a slip stitch to add that in. And we're doing 8 of these, so that's 1, 2, 3. Now on our 4th one, we're going to do a little cluster stitch. Now, it's a bit tricky because it's the 4th one and we've got 8 stitches, so it's not really in the middle. We sort of want to be at 4.5, but we're not going to be at 4.5. But we're going to use our 4th stitch. So we're going to do a cluster stitch, which is 3 little bands. You've got your loop here. Go through your next stitch, your 4th stitch, pull it through, and add onto your hook. Don't do anything with it. Go back through that stitch again. Okay. Grab another band, pull it through, add to the loop. And again, 3 little stitches are sitting here. 3 little bands are sitting on this hook, like so. Then, with a single band, pull it through and reclaim. This side goes through and through here. And then this is your next stitch. And remember that was 4, so this is 5, and you're just doing a normal single crochet. 6, 7. Now if you did specifically want it in the middle, you could just stop at 7 and do the 8th stitch as a caramel. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So you could pull it through. Again, you're changing colour, so you have to add that little loop to it. Get your 2 bands. And there you go. And then we do this until we get back to our stitch marker. Pull it through. Add 2 bands. And the more of these bands we add, it does get a bit confusing. So just try and keep everything that is additional bands, not your actual stitches, down. Now when we did the princess hair, we did things a little bit differently when we started doing our, when we changed colours. We're going to be doing the opposite this time with this little dude. Because instead of wanting it to be made wider, we want it to be slimmer. So here I am, my second last. This is my last. Here is a slip stitch. We're going to miss that. This is my first stitch. Okay, so I'm going in, I'm going to count my bands. I'm in my little counter here, and I'm still doing the same. I still have to add these extra 2 little bands. It's just like when we made Santa. Okay, pull things back, change your stitch marker to that new stitch. Okay, now here are our stitches. Go through, and you're just doing exactly the same. Okay, now the difference is when we change colours. So I will just do this round with you so that you can see what I'm talking about. My second last stitch. Now, when we were doing princesses, as I mentioned, when we got to the last stitch of the hair colour, we did the very last stitch, this one here, this is our last stitch. We did that in skin tone to try and make the skin tone come out. Well, we want the skin tone to come in. So this very last stitch, we're still going to do as the hair, the caramel, okay? On each of these rounds, the very last stitch is still going to be caramel because that pulls through. This is our slip stitch. This is our real stitch. We're going to do a slip stitch because we have a colour change. Okay, and now these little stitches of skin tone are just going to be normal single crochets. You're not adding anything to them. Go through the little one on the top here. Here's some very naughty little kittens playing. Now the other thing is when we were doing the princesses on this side when we finished, so let me get to the last stitch there, we did this one as skin tone. We're not. We're going to do this one again as the colour change. So pull your band through caramel, add your loop to do your slip stitch and pop your 2 bands on, reclaim one over the other, and there we go. So this is our slip stitch here, so this is our real stitch, and we're going to keep going and doing this all the way around. We've got another 2 rounds to do of this. Okay, so I'm going to meet you back. I'm not going to do all of this with you because I think it would just take forever. But we're going to keep doing this until we've done another 2 rounds. Then I will meet you back. Okay? Round we go. Just like that. Let's keep going. So I have completed my 4 rounds with caramel and skin tone. I have these 2 little rounds left, okay, of single crochet. They're going to be caramel only, and we are going to be adding the extra 2 bands. So if we go through the first stitch, okay, pull our first band through, and you're just going to be adding your 2 bands just like we have been before, except we're not changing to skin tone at all. Move your stitch marker. Now the thing you have to be careful about is when you come to the skin tone, you do have your little slip stitches. So from this stitch you would skip this and go straight to here, and likewise here you would go in this stitch but you skip the slip stitch and go to here. So it's very important that you miss the slip stitches, otherwise you'll end up with too many stitches. And I know it can be tricky to work with, so try and push things down so you can see what you're doing. So even though that little brown stitch at the end here looks very small, that is actually a stitch to go through. This little one here, you must go through that one. And the one next to it is the slip stitch. It can be a bit confusing sometimes. So this is the slip stitch, you can see, because it sort of goes at a different angle. So skip that one and go into this one. Okay, this is the real stitch. But remember, we're doing caramel, and you're still adding your extra bands. This is our last stitch of skin tone. Go through. The next stitch is a slip stitch where we change colours. Again, you can see because it's at that angle, and it's where we change colours. So this is our real stitch here. Push things back so you can clearly see where your stitch is. Grab a few more bands, hit my camera as I do that. Nearly back to the beginning. Hello, naughty girl. What are you doing? That's the cat, not the daughter. So I have one more round to do, adding these beard parts. You're going to do that by yourself because we've just done a whole round, and there's no adding any other colour. So this is our last round, and I'll meet you back when you have done this as well. Don't forget, change your stitch marker. Catch you back when we finish this round. So I have finished my 2 rounds of just caramel adding the beard. This is my last stitch, this is my first stitch. I'm just going to put a stitch marker on it. I'm adding it to this stitch marker, but if you don't have the locking type, just put another little stitch marker on it. Now what I'm going to do at this stage is before we do decreases and stuff, is add eyes. Ooh, wow, cat's being a bit bonkers. I'm going to add the eyes, I'm going to do eyebrows and the mouth all now, okay? And we can add some ears as well if we want to. So find out really where you want your eyes to be. I like them, this is the little nose here, I like them sort of either side of the nose, sort of quite close. So there's one little eye. And let's find the spot on the opposite side, about the same distance from the nose. Probably, we've got the nose here and we've got one. We've got the nose here, we've got one. So maybe, let's try. The nice thing about these safety eyes is you can just move them. So I think that's about right. Now, to do the eyebrows, all I did was take a single caramel band, wrap it once, twice, 3 times. Another one. Once, twice, 3 times, and slide these on to a caramel band. Now you can slide onto a skin tone band, it doesn't really matter, whichever suits you. Now position where you want the eyebrow to be. You're going to go through 1 loop and 2 loops, so you've got these 2 little areas, so you've gone through an entire spot here like that. Pull one side of your band through all the way, okay, reclaim. Now I do this bit with a skin tone because I don't want it to show on the inside. Join these 2 loops together with your skin tone, one over the other, and tighten up. Remember, if you do it really, really tight, you can't undo it if you want to move it around. Push your hook back up where you tied off at. Grab the skin tone band and pull it inside the head, okay, and make it so that it's about centered, so that your eyebrow is at the top and instead your little tie-off band is inside. So this is how I did the eyebrows. So let's do another one. 1, 2, 3, another band, 1, 2, 3, slide onto. I'm doing a caramel band, but as I said, you can use a skin tone, doesn't matter. Sort where you want your little eyebrow to be. For me, I'm going to go this side and this side. I'm going to pull through like that, reclaim with a skin tone, tie off, tight, push through where I tied off at, which is through this spot here, pull that band through so that it sits in the middle, and there we have our little eyebrow. Okay, so they're the eyebrows. Next we're going to do the mouth and the ears. So next we're going to do the ears. As you can see, I've done one and I'm going to show you how to do the other side. So using skin tone, take a single band, wrap it once, twice and 3 times. Now you're going to cap your next single band. So stretch it out, figure 8, and it's a little difficult with these silicone ones, they're a bit tricky. Put it on the end of your hook and you're going to slide that through like so and reclaim. Okay, now we're going to slide a single band through these 2. Okay, and you can sort of take it out now, or put it on a holding hook or something. You can just pop it here. Take a single band, wrap once, twice, 3 times, and take another single band, wrap once, twice, 3 times. Picking this back up, you're going to put one side on your hook and slide one of these over like so. You're then going to swap sides, so you have to sort of pinch this one so you don't lose it. Okay, now if you've got a stitch marker that you can put through if you want to, or whatever, that's up to you, but you can just pinch it. Slide this other one over like so, and then reclaim, so you have it like this. Okay, and this is going to be our little ear. Nothing terribly fancy. Working from the first hole in line with your eyebrow, you're going to go through this side and this side. So we need to really sort of pinch this, okay, so that we don't lose it. And pushing your hook from here, and you're going to skip the first hole and go through the second hole like that, okay? Take one side of your ear and hold the other side securely. Pull it through, okay, like that, and reclaim on the end here, like so. Taking a skin tone band, you're going to join these together. This is your joining your tie-off band. Join these together and pull tight. Now going through the hole that you started off, so mine was here, push your hook through that hole, okay, whoops, I got the wrong one, there we are. Take the end of your tie-off band and pull it back inside the head till it's sort of centered, okay, and there is your little ear. Now they're literally just going to sit out. You don't need to have them sitting up or anything. It's completely up to you, the angle, but that is, they sort of just sit like that. Now the mouth, I liked my little mouth that was sort of on the side. So looking where the bottom of your nose is here, okay? So you're going to go underneath. You're going to go one line underneath and work out the little curve that you want. So you could start up here, okay? And pull a black band through. Reclaim. Go through the next part and pull a black band through and through the two loops that are on your hook, and then to the next little bit here, pull your black band through and through the two on your hook. And this is how I did my little smile. And then my fourth band, pull through, and you're going to tie off like so. Push your hook where you tied off and pull the black band inside the head, and you're going to find a little couple of loops, skin tone loops like so, and you're just going to gently tie this off like that so that it does not flip through, okay? And that is how I did his little mouth. Okay, so now we need to start the decreases for his neck, and you're going to have 2 rounds of decreasing. So find your last loop, your last band, there we are. Now this is my first stitch, so my first stitch, and we're not adding any more of these bands to it, so go through your first stitch, and it is a single crochet, okay? So do a single crochet and add your stitch marker to that. That's the start. Now we're going around doing single crochet, decrease. So that was our first single crochet. Let's do our second single crochet. And our decrease, which is next, is going to be through the outer loops only. It's a hidden decrease like that. Okay, pull your bands through, and then we do our 2 single crochets in the next 2 stitches. So first single crochet, second single crochet, and a decrease. First single crochet, second single crochet, and a decrease. First single crochet, second single crochet, whoopsie, come back here you, second single crochet, and a decrease. Whoops, let's do that again. Whoops, I'm being a fumble fingers. 1, 2, and a decrease. 1, 2, and we finish on a decrease. Okay, now our next round is going to be single crochet decrease, but we're going to change colours. We're going to go to skin tone. So we do a slip stitch because we're changing colours, and we're going to move our stitch marker. That's our first stitch. So single crochet. Now we do a decrease. Again, it's a hidden decrease. Single crochet. And a decrease. Single crochet. And a decrease. Single crochet and a decrease. Single crochet careful not to add those bands to it, and a decrease, single crochet, and we finish on a decrease. Okay, so that is the end of our decreasing. Now what we have to do is work on the inside loop, the post, the inside post. So I'm going to use lime green to do that. Okay. And what I'm going to do, go through this brown stitch, because we've already been through this brown stitch, but when we do our post, we go through the last stitch that we were in, skip the little slip stitch that was here, and come out through that first stitch. Now I know you've got 4 loops here. That's because we had the colour change, and we're going to have another colour change. So add your green, and then add, whoopsie, let's do that again. Here we go, through the brown, skip the slip stitch, through the skin tone, pull your light green through, add your loop, and there we go. We're going to put our stitch marker on that, and then we're working in this loop, in this post, right, all the way around. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this last one will be 12. Okie dokie. Now that is the collar of his shirt. Okay. Now, one of the things that we're going to do is, as you can see here, we've got a little bit of green at the front here. The rest is dark green. Okay, so we're having to work with two colours. So I'm going to pause the video here, and this is going to be the end of part 1. I'm going to just pop this on a stitch marker. This is the end of part 1. Part 2, we're going to start with his little body. Okay, and that might take a little while to explain some of the things. So this is the end of part 1. I will catch you at part 2. See you there.